Hey Nick, Matthew here with freeprescriptionlenses.com, and with the help of my GoPro camera I'm going to show you how I cut prescription lenses. Actually one pair of clear lenses, then one pair of sun lenses for your new Gucci. This is model number, of course, this is your Gucci case, your Gucci cleaning cloth. I love the inside of this case. I wish they made blankets out of that. That thing is so soft and comfortable. Of course, these are your Gucci. This is the model number 1008, color 51N, in the 50, what size is this? The 55i size. You got the classic red-green Gucci emblem on the black plastic front. Nice, lightweight, strong, comfortable frame. So, let's go ahead and begin. I'm going to move your Gucci case and Gucci cleaning cloth aside. I'm going to pop out your original demo lenses. Give those back to you because you get all the original manufacturer's packaging. And I'm going to take your Italian frame, put it into my Italian Santanelli, the edger. This is the model number LE1000. Runs around $30,000. I recommend everyone go out and get one, put it on your kitchen counter. But the stylus is now tracing the shape of the right lens. It's going to move over and trace the shape of the left. Here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, where you buy a genuine, authentic Gucci frame and you receive free single vision prescription lenses and or non-prescription fashion lenses if you just want to rock these as the geek chic. But in your case, yours are prescription, so I'm going to pull the shape up. I'm going to put your pupillary distance in, which is 71. Let me enter that info. Good, we're on 71. This is a polycarbonate lens, and I'm going to cut it on the soft cycle because of the anti-glare coating, and this is being cut for a plastic frame. So let's go ahead and begin. Your right lens reads -75 and -250 at 177. I'm going to take your lens out of its protective packaging, spin the axis wheel of my Marco 101 lensometer to 177. Put the power drum at -75, which is your sphere power in your right eye. I'm going to put your lens in and rotate it until the sphere power comes in clearly. I find the optical center of your lens. And then I'm going to put 3 dots on your lenses. That helps me to find the direction it goes in the frame. Now these are too light, so I'm going to darken them for you so you can see them. There's one on the left, now the center, and now the right, and this is the right lens, so I'm going to put an R on there. I'm going to do the same thing for the left, -50, -250 at 177. Do you know how rare it is to have the same axis in both eyes? But I'll explain all that later. Get everything lined up. This is a -50. There's the sphere lines. Check your astigmatism correction. That's lining up perfectly, and I'll explain all that to you in a little bit. Put 3 more dots on those lenses. Darken those 3 dots so you can keep score at home. And an L for the left lens. Now this is a block. This is what's going to hold it in place in the machine while it's cutting. And I'm going to have to stick this onto the lens, so I need a double-sided adhesive, and 3M, the company that makes the post-it notes, does just that. The black side is the sticky side, so I'm going to stick that onto the block, pull away the tape and making it sticky on this side, and essentially I'm looking into crosshairs of a scope. I have a vertical meridian and a horizontal. And that's why I put those 3 dots on your lenses. I want to get everything nice and straight for your frame, because with your astigmatism, your lens cannot rotate at all, or you're just not going to see as well. So I'm going to get those 3 dots lined up perfectly. Use that middle one for the vertical thing, and dead center right there on your optical center. That's exactly where your pupil is going to be looking through the lens. I'm going to do the same thing for the left lens. Pull away the tape. And your left lens is good to go. Now you upgraded to the anti-glare coating. That coating is great. It's wonderful for driving at night. It eliminates glare from oncoming lights when driving at night, especially driving at night in the rain, but also from street lights, stop lights, computer screens, overhead lights, fluorescent lights. It's also a hydrophobic lens, meaning that it hates water, in the sense that just the same way you can wax your car and when it rains the water beads right off, the same thing's going to happen to your lens in the rain or anything. So you never need to use a liquid cleaner ever again on your lenses. Just your Gucci cleaning cloth, or the one that I'm going to provide. That's all you'll ever need. But because of that, I put a little sticker on the back side just to make it that much more to grip inside the machine. Now I've placed it inside the chuck, or as I like to say, the Charles, because I don't know it well enough to call it chuck. But these calipers are going to come down, and it's tracing the shape of your right lens onto your prescription lens to make sure it's large enough to fit. It's starting on the concave side, the back surface, the rear surface closest to your eyelashes. Then it's going to move over and trace the convex side of the lens. All the while measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel Now the actual cutting wheel is down here on the bottom left. It's that lighter color wheel. It's going to act like a heavy grit sandpaper and grind away your polycarbonate material. That wheel in the center with that channel, that's what's going to put the bevel onto the lens so it stays inside the frame. I will have to close the door, but for now I just want you to see as your prescription lens touches down on the cutting wheel. So your lenses, there was three main lens materials for the longest time. There was glass, plastic, and polycarb. Glass has almost gone by the way of the dinosaur just because of its weight and its lack of safety. If you get hit in the eye and that lens cracks and it slices your eye wide open, there is no healing when it comes to the eye. So plastic is the most common, least expensive lens. The polycarbonate are 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're also unbreakable. Your lens is bulletproof up to 22 caliber and has both UVA and UVB protection built into it, as well as a scratch coating. And one of the strongest scratch coatings you can put on a lens because of the anti-glare coating. As I mentioned about the anti-glare coating before, it eliminates glare from fluorescent lights, overhead lights. If I take a lens without that, you can see how the fluorescent lights above me reflect off the lens in my right hand, but you don't get that on the left. So when someone's looking at you, it makes for much better eye contact. They're not looking at their reflection in your glasses. Or if someone takes a picture with the flash, you don't see the flash lit up in the lens. You see just your eyes. It's three features in one. It's the anti-glare coating that I mentioned that really helps driving at night in the rain, but it's an anti-reflection lens as I just demonstrated. And the third feature, the strongest scratch coating of any lens possible, because they want to protect that anti-glare coating. Now if you notice, your lens is completely flat all around the edges. Now it is moved over to get the bevel put onto the lens, which is a knife-like edge. And if you notice, there is water running in the background. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry where plastic and high index cut wet. Now the very last 20 seconds of this cutting cycle, these two water jets, this one and this one, will start spraying water onto the lens, but that's just to wash away any optical debris, essentially optical sawdust that may be on the lens. And there we go, it's getting a little optical bath. So that bevel on the lens follows the curvature of the lens, so that lens is going to fit perfectly. The other nice thing about your lenses, not only is it all the above, unbreakable, bulletproof, all the UVA, UVB protection, it's also aspheric, meaning it's a much flatter curve. A spherical lens is completely round all over. It gives you that ugly fishbowl cosmetic appearance you've seen in people with really cheap glasses. When you buy glasses online, they charge you for plastic lenses. Well, not here at freeprescriptionlenses.com, but and then they charge you if you want to upgrade to the thinner, lighter weight polycarb. And then they want to charge you an extra upgrade for the aspheric polycarbs. Well, that's where I start for free. That is someone else's third tier premium product. I start there and go up from there with having lenses custom made just for you. Now that's the final shape of your lens, but you still have a little bit of rough edges there. So I want to use my hand stone to remove that and make it smooth at the edges. So this is known as the safety bevel. This hand stone is completely flat. I can put my finger on it while it's running. My finger gets warm due to the friction, but it's that friction that almost melts that rough edges and makes it all smooth. So I wipe that off your lens with my thumbnail, and I do this so much I have a V-shaped bevel worn into my thumbnail. See, that's why I can't have nice thumbnails. And once it's all been removed, I collect it neatly into one pile on the counter, and then I wipe it on the floor. You didn't see that coming, did you? Okay, so to see if your lens fits, I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner, and this is how you're going to pop your lenses in and out, because you're getting two pair of lenses this frame. One pair of clear lenses with anti-glare, and then one pair of tinted sun lenses. So in order to pop your lenses in and out, it's always with the thumb, it's always at the nose. You're always going to press down with your thumb at the nose. Oop, I just got a text message. Hang on, let me check this out. Oh, it's an email. Okay. Someone wants to buy from the website. Yes, the website is down this weekend. I apologize, it'll be fixed by Monday. But nonetheless, you take the lens, you tuck it in at the outside corner, and then using your thumbs, you press down at the nose. And it's still a little bit stiff, so I want to take a little bit more off. I've programmed the machine to cut a little bit large, because you can always cut more off of a lens. You can never add it back on. So I start a little bit large, and then I work my way down. So I'm going to take 1/4 of a millimeter off the perimeter of your lens around the circumference, a millimeter is the distance between my thumbnails. So I'm going to take 1/4 of that off, going all the way around the circumference of the lens. Actually, 1/4 from this side, 1/4 from that side, 1/4 of that, 1/4 of that, so that the total ends up being 1/4 millimeter. It's actually what, 1/6. So it's skipping the cutting wheel and going straight to the bevel wheel. This whole process should take about 15-20 minutes. It is now 3:32, Saturday, July 12th, 74 degrees in my hometown of Durham, North Carolina, at least according to my Samsung Gear 2 watch. And someone was kind enough to email me to let me know my website is down. I hate it when that happens. I cut lenses all day long. I have to rely on an IT crew, and someone is dropping the ball. But hey, all I can do is keep making glasses. And I appreciate everyone's patience while the website is down. All right. So when I cut your second set of lenses, I'm going to remember that I need to scale it back just a little bit from the get-go. So, dry your lens off so it's not slippery. Back to the handstone real quick. Back to the safety bevel real quick. Back to scraping all that off your lens. This is called Schwarf, and that will conclude your vocabulary lesson of the day. Once it's all off the counter, wipe it on the floor. You know, if people come over, it makes it look like I've been working. It makes it look like I've been busy. So again, I tuck the lens in at the outside closest to me, and if you notice, working on the right lens, I'm not trying to reach across the frame. I have the right side closest to me that I'm working on. I tuck it in at the side closest to me, then using my thumbs, I press down the nose and it snaps right in. Let's go ahead and start cutting your left lens. I'm going to do the same thing, flip this over to the left and hit start. And just like before, the calipers are going to come down, and this time they're going to trace the shape of the left side of the frame. And once this is going, I'm going to go ahead and continue to keep working on your right lens. So it's tracing the back surface, then it's going to trace the front surface, measuring the thickness of the lens to know exactly where to place the bevel. Because you have two different curvature of your lenses, that's what the astigmatism is, and I'll explain that in just a moment. That's why you have different thicknesses as the lens rotates. Okay, this block is no longer needed, so I'm going to take that off. I'm going to take the blue sticker off, stick that on the counter. I'm going to leave that red dot on there because I'm going to need to use that to measure your pupillary distance in a little bit. But I'm going to read the prescription right there in front of that red dot, and I just want to make sure everything is lined up perfectly, and it is. We are good to go. I'm reading -75. We have 0, a quarter, half, 0.75, and 1. Everything goes up in quarter increments. I'm going to check your astigmatism correction, and we're at -3.5. The way this works, I'm sorry, let me check that. Yeah, 3 1/4, I'm sorry. So your right eye reads -75, -250 at 177. Your left reads -50, -250 at 177. The unit of measurement in the optical field is called a diopter, spelled D-I-O-P-T-E-R. It's in quarter increments, starting at 0 being no prescription and going up in 0.25 or quarter increments from there, 0.25, 0.50, 0.75, 1. So your right eye, you need 3 steps of correction. Without your glasses on, objects that you look at are too large, so when you put your lenses on, they will minify down to the correct size. Now, you have another -250. You have 2 curvatures on your eye, one curvature going this way and one curvature going this way. You need 3 steps of correction for this curve. You needed an additional 2.50, which essentially is 10 steps. If you had 10 quarters, you would have 250. So this last number, this first number gets everything the correct size. Your astigmatism is what makes everything blurry. Now most of your prescription is the astigmatism correction. And contacts is really expensive, and glasses there's nothing to it. But So this first number gets everything the correct size. The second number takes away the fuzzy edges. So 6s and 8s, the letters P and F don't look alike. Think of it as the fine-tuned knob. This one gets everything the right size it should be. This makes everything fine-tuned. The 177, if you had a scale from 0 to 180 on a straight line, then it's just an arbitrary number. We turn that knob to 177 to make everything nice and clear. These first two numbers are real values. The second number, this last number, is anywhere from 0 to 180. Now you only need 2 steps of correction for your left eye, but the same additional, a total of 12, because you have the 10 extra steps here. So that's why I have 3 1/4. If someone owed you 75 cents and then they borrowed another $2.50, they would owe you $3.25. That's why we have 3 1/4. For your left eye, we're going to start with -50. We're going to turn the knob another 10 steps until we end up with a combined power. You add these two together of -3. So let's go ahead and get your left lens mounted. Do the safety bevel real quick. Dry everything off, which I should have done the first time. Use my thumbnail to scrape everything off. My friends call it my occupational thumbnail. All the kids will be wanting one. So that is that. Now let's go ahead and make sure the left lens fits. Let's take the out of the lensometer. So I have this side closest to me this time. I tuck it in with the side that is closest to me using my thumbs, press down at the nose, and it snaps right in. I'm going to take this off, the block. I'm going to read the prescription on the left eye to verify that it is made correctly. So we're still on 177, which is extremely rare that people have the same in both eyes. So I'm reading -50, and we check your second curvature, and we end up with -3. So -50 and -250 totals -3, so that is made correctly. Your pupillary distance is 71, so I'm going to place the 0 on my PD stick against my thumb on your right lens, and then we move over. We're measuring 71 millimeters, so that is cut perfectly. The other thing I want to do, I want to show you how to pop the lenses out, because we're going to be doing the sunglass lenses, but it's always with your thumb, it's always at the nose. You can grab it like that by the lens and put my other thumb on top and press down.